Okay. Let's get settled in, you guys. We're about to dive into everything that we got from the WonderCon panel for the Dragon Prince Season 6, and I cannot contain my excitement, so just play the intro. What's going on, you guys? James here with some real news, and yes, today we just got some fresh Dragon Prince news for Season 6 that's expected this year. Now, we're about to get started. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm getting comfortable still. I gotta wait for this thing to start, but I am so excited for when it does, because then I'm giving you my recap. The time codes are below, you guys, but I'm so excited. Now, if you haven't already, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and like this video and get loud in the comments, and let me know what you think of the panel, because I'm breaking down everything, you guys. So I'm gonna give you some live tweets from Cartoon UV. We've got some, I'd have to imagine we're gonna get some surprises, guys. Now, I did a whole predictions video, if you missed it, that gave you all of my predictions, plus some surprises I think are coming down the pipe. But hey, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So without further ado, let me go ahead and watch this thing unravel, and then I'm gonna come back. We got nothing. Oh boy. Okay, well, we didn't get nothing. We'll talk about what we did get at the panel, you guys. My gosh, this was definitely unexpected. So the panel begins with the Q&A, which is very interesting, because usually Q&As, I know they come at the end of panels for the most part, but I'm like, oh, I'm okay with them answering questions and, you know, having questions asked at the beginning. Why not? So the panel itself consisted of Ehasz, friend of the channel, of course, Justin Richmond, Vilas Spangsberg, Devin Gill, and I hope I pronounced their last name correctly, and Raquel Belmonte, voice of Claudia. Now, the first question is about the show getting greenlit, and I thought that there were some interesting questions, this being one of them, because, and I quote, by the way, thanks Cartoon UV for some awesome live post on X. So their post said this: Nick loved their pitch because Aaron worked on Avatar. Amazon did not want a show like The Dragon Prince at the time. Disney liked the pitch but said no because it wasn't Star Wars or Marvel. Netflix also loved it because they wanted their own Avatar. Very interesting. And it ended up being Nick and Netflix at the end of the day, but Netflix won out. So I cannot believe that this was almost a Nickelodeon show. If anything, I think it actually is serving to a wider audience on Netflix. But after today, I have questions about that little partnership. We'll see. We'll talk about it. But the second question is about the show getting intentionally darker over the years, which we're noticing these things, and I like that it is getting more mature. And the question, of course, was answered with this, and I quote, yes, this was planned somewhat, and it was somewhat due to writing the final seasons during COVID. So maybe that extra time during the pandemic actually helped them, and they thought, you know what, the world is not in great shape, so maybe our world shouldn't be in great shape, as Zadia and the human kingdoms, like, they're all a mess. So yeah, I do actually like that the show is getting darker, and as we know, of course, there was a disclaimer right before this panel in the description, like, don't bring your kids, and if you do, you got to make sure they're okay to handle these themes. So kids couldn't attend on their own, probably because of the first episode that was shown. So we'll get there. But during this Q&A, there were some Season 6 details that were spilled out that got me kind of excited. And I quote, Rayla is still ghosted. We will learn some stuff about Callum's birth father in Season 6, and we will still have to wait and see if the Moon fam reunites. And another detail is this: out of context Ruthari spoiler, Ethari has been growing his hair long. So we got long hair for Ethari. Rayla is still being ghosted. I'm guessing she's not she's still not accepted back yet. But the most interesting detail is that we're going to learn more about Callum's birth father in Season 6. Will we finally figure out if Erebos is his birth father? No, I'm kidding. I know that theory is going around. I don't believe it personally, but I am curious to see who his birth father could be. Then at this point in the panel, they screened the very first episode of Season 6, but nobody was allowed to post anything about it. And we know this because Cartoon UV posted that they're seeing Season 1 of Episode 6, but there's a secret scene that they don't want anyone in the public knowing. I unfortunately saw someone who teased that they were going to do a play-by-play on X of that episode, and I thought that was unfortunately a little disingenuous because they literally had a Crown Guard's oath that was apparently written by Devin, I think, on the screen, and you are being asked as a member of this community, do not spoil it for others. And I think somebody on X did. I didn't see it. I'm not going to see it, but if that is the case, that's a little shameful. So the Crown Guard's oath was actually it's actually pretty funny. So let's go and read it together. It says, "By the crown of Catullus, I swear with utmost seriousness and solemnness to keep the secrets revealed today very, very secret. I will not tell little birds about them. I will not post them on the courtyard notice board. I will not depict them in cryptic paintings. Should I break this oath, may my name become Ratty McSnitch. May my armor never shine, and may all of my jelly tarts taste forever of dirt." So yeah, to the person who spoiled it, sorry man, but your jelly tarts are not going to taste very good. And the only detail, quote unquote detail, that we got from episode 1 was when Cartoon UV said, "And that's a wrap on the episode. Very emotional, and what a crazy secret scene." Oh man, I have so many thoughts about this secret scene. Maybe we will talk about it more in depth on the channel this week, but if I had to give you a little bit of a theory here, I think it's going to have to do with Viren, and it's going to show whether he actually died at the end of Season 5, or if he's alive, and which side is he choosing. I don't know, but maybe it's crazier than that because they said a crazy secret scene. That doesn't sound so crazy. And then at this point, we get into more Q&As, which, again, a little surprising, but it was kind of cool that this time the questions were from the fans. So the very first question has to do with, I think, Claudia, and it's revealed that there will be more Claudia designs that we haven't seen before in Season 6. It says here, and I quote, "Aaron mentions there are some designs for Claudia we haven't even seen yet." So I love that. I think it's cool that we're seeing more designs for Claudia, which maybe means that she's fully and completely a puppet of Erebos, so maybe her entire physical appearance changes. And then apparently there was a question asked about singing, maybe, and there's more singing to come in Season 6. Devin revealed that apparently there will be more singing in the show, and I wonder if the singing comes from Terry or Soren or Corvus. You know, Corvus can sing, guys. So yeah, maybe all three of them need a trio. We'll see what happens. And apparently Vilas Spangsberg also talked about Zim getting character development in Season 6, and I quote, "Why does Zim bark like a dog?" Vilas says that there will be some development with how Zim sounds, and Aaron asked the audience if we think Zim will talk by the end of the show. I actually hope he does not speak by the end of the show, but it would make sense because if his mother can speak, then eventually he's going to be able to speak also. It just feels like it would break a little bit of a wall if Zim spoke right now. I think that they should, if they're going to, they got a time skip in Season 7, and then eventually we'll hear Zim speak. We'll see what happens, but I just like the fact that we're getting more Zim character development in Season 6. It's felt like a long time coming. Yeah. And lastly, Devin said that we will work on getting more short stories made, so that means more reflections. Yes, I love those short stories. They add so much context and color to the Dragon Prince, so more reflections are always welcome. And with that, you guys, the panel ended. When I tell you, my heart just like, it was like starting to beat a little quick. I'm thinking, what do you mean the panel ended? Huh? And I was very confused. There were 2 Q&A sessions. Episode 1 was revealed and kept secret, and that's it. That's all we got at the panel. Now, I'm not being very reactive here. I hope it doesn't come off this way, but I am very, very shocked. Usually at panels like this, you do expect maybe a new poster, a release date, an official trailer, and maybe another cool reveal. But unfortunately, there was none of that. Now, Aaron Ehasz took to his X account and actually came out to explain the situation, and I have it here. Let's go ahead and just read it together. And I quote, "Hello, Dragon Prince fans. We had a lot of fun at WonderCon today, but I know so many folks who couldn't make it are feeling disappointed that we couldn't release any big news or content. More's coming in a matter of weeks. It is coming. In the next thread, he says, "We love going to conventions where we can directly interact with the Dragon Prince community, and we usually try to coordinate things so that we can release a trailer or something fun to everyone online at the same time, but the timing was just off. We are very close to the Season 6 campaign, which means that posters and trailers and a date will be coming, but today was too soon to start that stuff. We love the Dragon Prince community and the fans so much, but also releasing content requires us to coordinate with Netflix, who, by the way, are great partners and have let us tell this amazing story and supported us all the way. Anyhow, thanks everyone for your patience. There was some very cool and beautiful content, including brilliant posters from the hyper-talented Hyper and trailer content, and of course Season 6 is not far behind. The Dragon Prince community, this is going to be a great year." Now, I think that is a very good response, and it is nice that Aaron let us know a little bit of why they haven't released an official trailer, new posters, a release date, and we haven't gotten much official news about Season 6, and it's because of Netflix. I'm not blaming Netflix here, but I am saying that Netflix seems to not know when they want to release Season 6 of The Dragon Prince, and that to me is a little shocking. I think having it come out after Avatar The Last Airbender was always the plan, but this feels like we're maybe going to get Season 6 a lot later than we thought. Now, there was a sort of post floating around that Season 6 is coming in May and Season 7 by the end of the year. I do not see that happening. I think that would actually be hurting the series. You don't really want to do too many of those multi-season releases in one year, unless it's like a part 1, part 2 type of deal, but I do think that they need to just have Season 6 come out this year and Season 7 come out next year. Why rush to the finish line when, unfortunately, the momentum has been building with little to no payoff so far, and that is a little concerning to me. So I do think they need to just let Season 6 come out and then release Season 7 next year, but hopefully they will get a confirmation from Netflix, hey, this has got to happen on these dates. That's what I'm hoping for. So we're getting stuff in a matter of weeks, apparently. I'm not going to keep too much of my hopes high, but it is relatively disappointing that we have not gotten any official trailer, release date, or further news since Netflix Geeked Week last year. It is a little concerning, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't necessarily know what's next for the Dragon Prince. Now, some people are complaining about the fact that they feel like there's two fandoms, one that gets to see the first episode early and one that doesn't. But to be honest, guys, this always happens at panels, at conventions. And Marvel Cinematic Universe has been doing secretive stuff like this for years at San Diego Comic-Con, D23 expos. It just is the case. I don't feel like we're two different fandoms. It just so happens to be that there's one part of the fandom that can make it to a convention to hype up a season and others that can't. I think what stings the most is the fact that there are no clear-cut public releases, and there haven't been for a while. That's what hurts. If we had already got an official trailer or release date, no one's complaining about not being able to see episode 1 of Season 6. Yeah, it just so happens to be that there's nothing out here. We're in a drought publicly, which is why the private stuff at the conventions, it stings a little bit more. So I'm going to make more videos on this week, guys, so get subscribed down below and let me know in the comments what you feel about this panel. And I'm not even going to ask did it disappoint you, because I'm sure it did, but does it make you worried? That's a better question. Alrighty, y'all. Well, again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening.